Most of us were taught to manage our emotions, push through them, calm down, don't let them get to you. But here's a completely different way to look at it. Your emotions are not random, they are feedback. And if you follow them all the way down, they will lead you directly to the belief that is actually causing them. Most people stop at the emotion. The real information is underneath. This is part 2 of my Core Wounds series. Core Wounds, How to Find Yours Using Your Emotions. If you missed part 1, the link is in the description. I would recommend starting there. And if you haven't subscribed yet, do that now so you don't miss the rest of this series. Let's get into it. Welcome back. This is Lesson 2, How to Recognize Your Core Wounds. So in Lesson 1, we talked about what core wounds are and how they get formed. That foundational piece where something happens early in life, your nervous system absorbs it as truth, and it becomes a program running quietly underneath everything. In this lesson, we are going to get practical. Because knowing core wounds exist is one thing, being able to spot yours in real time is a completely different skill. And that is what this lesson is about. The good news is you already have everything you need to find them. You just have to know how to read the map, and that map is your emotions. Your emotions are not random. Most of us were taught to manage our emotions, push through them, calm down, don't let them get to you. But here's a completely different way to look at it. Your emotions are feedback. They are your nervous system's way of flagging something that needs attention. And when a feeling comes up that feels disproportionate to what just happened, that is almost always a signal that a core wound has been activated underneath it. Think of it like a rope. The motion is the part you can see and grab onto. And if you follow it down, hand over hand, it will lead you all the way to the belief that is actually causing it. Most people stop at the emotion. They feel hurt or angry or anxious, and they respond from that place. But the real information is underneath. How to trace an emotion back to a wound. Here is the process, and I want you to think of a recent moment where you felt emotionally charged, even something small, as I walk you through this. Step 1. Name what happened. Just the facts, no story around it. My partner didn't respond to my text for 3 hours. My coworker got credit for something I did. Someone canceled on me last minute. Step 2. Name the emotion. Not the story about the emotion, just the feeling itself. Hurt, anxious, angry, dismissed, left out, scared. Step 3. Ask yourself, what does this mean to me? What am I afraid this says about me or about how the other person feels about me? This is where people start to get the real stuff, because the meaning we assign to things is where the wound lives. If your partner didn't text back and the meaning you gave it was they are probably just busy, that's a neutral read. But if the meaning was they are pulling away, I'm not a priority, they're losing interest in me, that is a wound speaking. Step 4. Keep asking. Take that fear and go one layer deeper. If that were true, what would it mean about you? That last question is almost always where the core wound surfaces. They are losing interest in me becomes I am not enough to hold someone's attention. They are pulling away becomes I will be abandoned. I am not a priority becomes I don't matter. That is the wound. Here's an example from start to finish. Let me walk you through a full example so you can hear what this sounds like in practice. Someone is at a gathering with friends. A plan gets made for next weekend and they are not included. No one said anything mean. It might have been completely accidental. But here's what happens internally. Situation. I was left out of the plan. Emotion. Hurt. A little embarrassed. Anxious. Meaning. They don't want me there. They don't really consider me part of the group. Deeper meaning. If that were true, it means I don't belong. I'm excluded. There is something about me that makes people not want to include me. Those last two are core wounds. I don't belong. I am excluded. Now, did the friends intend any of that? Almost certainly not. But the wound doesn't care about intent. It cares about evidence, and it found some. This is how fast this happens, and this is why understanding the process changes everything. Because once you can see it, you can stop taking the bait. So what do you do with what you find? When you trace an emotion and find the wound underneath, the first thing to do is just acknowledge it. Not fix it, not argue with it, not immediately try to replace it with a positive thought. Just say, okay, that is the belief that got touched. That makes sense given where it came from. That moment of recognition is not small. Most people walk around for decades being run by beliefs they have never consciously identified. Just naming it puts you in a completely different relationship with it. And from that place, you can start to do something with it, which is exactly what we are going to build toward over the next 3 lessons. In lesson 3, we are going to look at how core wounds show up specifically in your relationships, because that is where they tend to get activated the most and where understanding them makes the biggest difference. I will see you there. If this resonated with you, subscribe so you don't miss the rest of this series. And if you want to go even deeper, I have a full library of mini courses on attachment healing and relationship patterns on Insight Timer. This series is just a taste of what is over there. The link is in the description. I will see you in the next one.